conversation.
Yeah, it was definitely a nice conversation.
Look.
But you guys didn't know because you didn't experience this. But now the camera is rolling. We had some technical difficulties, but now we're gonna start with coffee. We call it. Okay, we're just gonna do like a quick recap of what we were just discussing. So yeah, we're Kenji and Silverman. We're gonna do these car sessions more often now.
We're always doing things, so we're always busy with projects, small things, our own gym, shows. We're doing so many stuff, and I think it's important to just share and document what we're doing, how we are doing it, what our visions are, and just sharing what we do.
Yeah. So quick introduction. What we are gonna do today. We are going to a repetition of theater tour. We are doing that till November. We started in June. We've done a couple of theaters performances, which we really liked. We love acting and combining that with tricking. So this was a big opportunity for us to like learn new things, meet new people. We're actually doing this with a couple of famous Dutch actors, not actresses. So yeah, that's a little bit of a recap, and you're gonna see that. You're gonna see more about it. So the question what we were talking about, what we are talking about today, or like before this, I had a question. Where do you get the most satisfaction out of tricking? And Kalian told me it was learning new things.
Yeah.
In general.
The endless progression cycle, like just always learning something that you can do or training something. Like tricking is endless, so the endless progression is what makes it fun for me. Always being able to do something new and sharing it with others.
Yeah, so we before this we actually had a beautiful conversation about this, but our conclusion was like, if you don't learn new things in basically anything, and for us it's specifically tricking, of course, you kind of get into like this spiral of boredom, I guess, and then you don't find satisfaction in tricking. I think it's with everything. The danger in this is because it's also like a sport that's kind of hard, maybe, I don't know. That's for everyone. It's something different, of course. Don't know what I want to say.
You're going the right direction.
But for me, it's if I'm doing the same things over and over and over again, I feel dull. I don't even want to trick. And it's also a little bit a social thing. And I notice when I'm training with different people, different kinds of trickers, I get new ideas of what tricking can be and what it is and what I can do with my body. What I used to do with a friend of mine, Yannick, I started tricking because of him. He always told me, hey, try this and do this, and I did it. And it was fun. And we made it a kind of a game, and that's what we always try to find in what we do now.
Yeah.
Because so if I compare it with dancing, it's maybe a little bit different. But with dancing, you can easily do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 steps. With tricking, you have to rehearse the move before you can do it fluently. And after that, you have to be creative with it. So first you have to do the move and learn the move, and after that, the creative part comes.
I've always found it an interesting conversation about why tricking is so much smaller than, for example, like freerunning. But I think it's because freerunning is more connected to our basic instincts, like climbing and running, jumping.
Being a child.
Every kid does it automatically if you leave them at a, like, for example, a nice place, can be outdoors as well, in the woods, and you have a lot of things to climb onto, go over, run. I think that is what we automatically do. With tricking, doing flips and such, I think that's some kind like the next level, because you have to deal with a large amount of fear. Like I told them earlier, if I'm tricking, I like to be afraid of doing a move for the first time, because when I come over that point and when I see, oh, I can actually do it and I just have to do it again and again and again, but if I get over that fear, that really helps me with many more things in my life than just that move. It's just dealing with, and it's also kind of addictive, I think, just being afraid of something and then coming over it and doing it all over again with something, because you get used to it eventually.
Well, I have this. I still have that for performances. Before I go on stage or starting a performance, I get, well, anxious is not the right word.
Nervous.
I get a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
In a way, I like the discomfort or something.
Yeah.
It keeps me sharp.
Yeah.
If I don't have it, I'm going bad. I'm not performing well.
But that's what we talked earlier about, is being always looking for the discomfort, then get comfortable with it, and then expanding your circle like that. I think that's what makes it so fun for me to trick. And I think eventually for a lot of people, it's when you get addicted to like extreme sports, I think the pushing the fear around is what keeps it interesting, because it means if you get over it, you get a big reward in some kind of way.
Yeah.
So for me, after my knee injury, I had ACL surgery 9 months ago. Doing my first double twists again was a big mental obstacle, because I got hurt by doing a car D-leg full. It was a double twist, but it's still somewhere in your mind, it's still double twisting is like the red area where you get hurt. And just getting over that again was for me a big step. It took one training, but still that moment to get over it is just makes it worth to do tricking. To get into the risky zone again and just do it. Just go for it. It's all or nothing. I think that's the best part.
Yeah.
Which is also a tip from Jacob Pinto. When we were at No Gravity 3, he also told me it's all or nothing, and he is right about it, because the most injuries I got were always when I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this, no big deal.
Yeah.
And the no big deal was always when I fucked up.
Yeah.
Like if you treat everything with full power, full attention, and with your full everything, you get less injuries, I think.
It's basically the same as doing if you see a flip, like the full rotation of a flip, backflip.
Yeah.
And you see that there's 100% and you're doing it 50%.
Yeah.
You're landing on your head.
Yeah. But I think that's why what we do is less to our basic movements than, for example, a free runner or someone that does parkour or even dance, because everyone essentially can dance.
Yeah.
But to do a trick is like it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
You can do half backflip. Yeah, you can, but more than well.
Well, depends a little bit of what you're doing, of course. If you do like I don't know, a machine, if you don't do it like 100%.
Yeah, no, true. But I'm talking about even in flips, even if you do
Mostly
transitions, like a touchdown race. If you do with half the power, you will have the risk to get hurt. If you dance with half the power, just normal steps, you don't risk getting hurt at the same way. You know, it's the danger level is way higher with what we do.
Yeah.
Which is also why I think there are less people doing what we do.
Yeah.
Because it takes a big amount of time just to get the basics down. It took me quite some time to get something as a 540, just to get the lag over it, or just the backflip. It took me quite some time to get it high enough to land properly.
Yeah. Did it take a lot of time to get it like properly high?
Oh yeah, for me when I started to do backflip, like I said, I learned it on first on mats, first on trampoline, then on mats, just the old school, you know, the high school mats, which are pretty shit.
Yeah.
And then I learned it on grass, but I started off by just barely making it, like ankle deep, and then it took me a few weeks to get a little bit higher every time before I could land it standing up.
Okay.
But it took me some time, yeah.
Okay. Well, you told me about like a move that you tried to learn for like 3 years. Someone was it touchdown race? Well, it was a move that you that took a long time to like.
Oh yeah, for me, one of the moves that took one of the longest was back handspring. Because yeah, just for the technique, not being able to do one, I could do one, but just sharpening the technique, the hip movement, the straight legs, to get it powerful, it took me quite some time. Yeah.
Backflip for me was easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you still have your first one?
I don't think so. I accidentally did it like too high for what I could do for the backflip. But no, I don't even remember how I learned it. It was just like, I think one of my first attempts, I landed on my knees. So, and I was going to this gym. I was free running back then, and I saw a friend that was on my team, and I knew him already because he was like a family friend. And I came to the gym and I saw him. I was like, "Oh hey, Yannick, I know you." And he was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I'm like free running. "Oh, you should stop that, man. You should come tricking." And I was like, "Okay." And that's how I started. It was
Convincing.
that plain simple. We had like those thick mats, and I just did those. I just did the backflips, and my first one were on my knees, and shortly after that, I just landed them. Yeah.
I remember when the moment was when I wanted to learn it. I was playing, when I was 11 years old, I played rugby, and a friend from rugby, his brother came to like an open day, you know, where they present rugby to other people, and there was like a bouncy house was there, and his brother did a backflip on it, and when I saw that, I was like, yo, I want to learn that someday.
Is that rugby?
I knew it was something else, and from there on, I went over to b-boying, to breakdance, and there was a guy who could learn me to do a backflip. So he spotted me a few times, but that was not the trigger, because when he just spotted me a few times, I couldn't do it yet. Then I went to a friend's house of mine, and we started pulling out a mattress and just trying to do backwards movement. It wasn't not flipping, it was not a back handspring, it was something in between on the mattress. And from there on, he asked his mother for a trampoline, and I learned so many tricks on that trampoline because he asked his mother for it. And there started my first backflips on trampoline, and then it went out to things like grass, mats, etc.
Is it because of that you were more comfortable with trampoline? Because I haven't done trampoline like when I was young, and I wanted to do everything on the ground, not even trampoline. I had to like go over that fear.
No, I think that helped me a lot with being able to find comfort on the trampoline. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because I was there like almost every day, just training with him.
Nice.
It became an obsession, and it was in the same time that there was not. YouTube wasn't that big. It was still, Google Video was still around.
Yeah.
And I just always looked up things. Team Geo was already there. I think Helden. He's.
You mean Team Geo?
Team Geo, yeah. So
yeah.
They were on it already, a few of them, and I was just following them just to see how they do the flips and analyzing and with spacebar jamming, and until I found out about tricking and Anis and such. I met a few guys in my small town that were into tricking already before I was.
Who?
Chachi.
Oh, no
Raul.
way.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
They already knew what it was, and they were a lot further than I was. When I started, I was like the lowest level, and then I progressed really quickly just because it was such an obsession. I could train with people better than me.
Yeah.
And from there on, I trained with them, and I learned more and more and more, and it just expanded from there on.
Oh, I didn't even know that, man.
Yeah,
That's nice.
they were tricking before me.
So how big was the group? Like eventually, like your tricking group?
It was eventually 6 people. We started off with 6. They were already doing it, doing flips and such. I came with it later, so we were 6 then. But even around those 6, there were friends of us who just wanted to learn a flip, or just could do a front flip, or a really good back flip, or
Yeah.
so there are always people that come, learn something, and then go away, and are the ones that stayed.
Yeah.
And eventually, that crew, due to injury, had to let it go. So a few of them had really bad injuries, and they couldn't trick anymore. Others just had another focus. So one of them, you know him as well, Benny, was b-boying as well. At the verge where I was invited to go to Cypher Active, the b-boy crew,
Oh yeah.
I just chose tricking. I told them, yo, all
What
I
was
want
the
to do
name
is trick.
before? They had another name before. Cypher Active, but
yeah, I don't remember the name. But
complicated.
yeah, but that's way back. That's way back.
Yeah.
When they asked me, we were already Cypher Active.
Okay.
Because there was a time when I was b-boying and still tricking. Like we were training in a school gym, and the school gym had those small mats where I trained my tricks as well. So at first I was and you have been in the gym as well.
Once.
Yeah. And then I transitioned more and more to tricking, because doing flips was all I could think about. Not even kicks. I just wanted to flip.
Yeah.
And later on I found out more about kicks, and I just started training them, and that became eventually my somewhat trademark.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that the one that always told me that I should stretch and how I should stretch was Nick from the Ruggeds. He taught me how to stretch, and eventually I became more flexible in the legs, just because he told me how he did it and how often and such things.
Yeah.
He doesn't even remember telling me. But I never forgot what's a very important moment for my tricking. And I think that's why I survived for so long already, because I just always had a good warm-up and good stretching, and I was always the last one finishing my warm-up. But it also helped me, I think, standing out longer than most.
Yeah. So conclusion, guys. If you want to keep the fun into tricking, also look at the part that's not fun. Warming up, conditioning yourself, take care of your body. And after that, getting social with people. That's the most important. Because if you're gonna do it alone, well, you can do that. Some people can do that. I cannot do that because it's a really social thing for me. Because it's about sharing things and getting new creative stuff with others. Just go out and don't be depressive about it. Even when you get injured, help other people.
Yeah, go to your gym.
Go to your gym, do something else.
Yeah.
If your ankle is fucked up, you can still do something else.
You can still push up, pull up. You can always do things to make yourself better, and I think that's important to keep the fun in it as well.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. We arrived.
Peace out.
See you next time.